Hi there, I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com, and this is my Smart American Accent training. Welcome to our Saturday live question and answer class. Each week we meet and I take your questions regarding American English pronunciation, American accent, whatever can help you improve your fluency, your confidence when speaking American English. Feel free to put your questions in the chat at any time. And if you're watching this later on as a replay, you can leave questions in the comments. I do go back to those and send you to resources to help you here on the channel and also on our website on speechmodification.com. So at the start of class today, I want to cover a couple of words that were requested by a viewer. This viewer was asking about the pronunciation of the words travel and trouble. And even though these might look fairly different in terms of how they're spelled, there are some similarities between the two words, and so this may be what's causing the trouble for this viewer. First of all, when we look at the word travel, we have letter A saying the A vowel. This is the most frequent vowel sound that letter A represents in English. Most of the time, when you see a letter A in a stressed syllable, it's going to be the A sound. And using some other words to help you remember that ah sound, I like using simple words like that or have, that travel, have travel, and matching that ah vowel is going to help you be able to distinguish when it comes to something that's a little more similar, like travel versus trouble. The ah vowel is an open front vowel. The back of my tongue is lifted, my jaw is fairly open, and the resonance is in the front of my mouth. Ah, travel. Then we have our v sound, and the v sound is a voiced sound. It's a continuant sound, and it's made with the upper teeth and the lower lip together. So if that gives you trouble in a word like travel, you might want to just start with the v sound, the v sound, and try saying something kind of along the lines of vul. If that's difficult because of the L, just say another word with the V sound. So you could say, for example, vet or very. And if the V sound gives you difficulty, you can check out our video for the V sound. It's made in the same mouth position as the F sound, the letter F, but my voice is on V, travel. And then finally we have our dark L. So when the L is at the end of the word in English, often it has a little bit of an sound before it, a schwa, and that means when I'm saying travel, I'm keeping the back of my tongue down for the sound, and I'm just lifting the front of the tongue to make the finish and make the L, travel. I've written it here with no vowel because we're moving very quickly from the v to the ul. This ul sound is a syllabic L. Basically, it functions as its own syllable. So I don't really need travel. Not much vowel there. Travel, because the first syllable is stressed. The second syllable is shorter and reduced with more of the vul sound. Then when we're switching over to looking at the word trouble, what we want to notice there is that we have, instead of the a vowel, now we have the stressed schwa, the sound. I've rewritten that for you here with letters UH. Stressed schwa is spelled with lots of different letters, but the most common is the letter U. And again, trying to have some words that you can associate with that sound to help you. I like the words such and fun, or even the word the or to be able to match such trouble, the trouble. You want that sound happening there. And then instead of the v with the teeth and the lip contacting, like we have for the in trouble, the b sound is both lips together. So it's made the same way as the p sound. And as I'm moving from the b to the ul, bull, trouble, bull, my ul is very short and reduced again because I'm stressing on the tr syllable and my bull is short. So again, I might have a little bit of an sound in there, a short reduced schwa before my L. Travel, trouble. If it's still difficult between those two, just remember to match your vowels. That, travel, such trouble. And then once you can say travel and trouble by themselves, do try practicing them in some short phrases just so they come smoothly and naturally to you. I had some travel last week. I had some trouble last week. She's in trouble with the law. She needs to travel for her work. Thank you for this request. Feel free to leave your questions in the chat. If you have some words you'd like to see me cover or questions about English pronunciation, American accent, I'll take those now. And I can look for some other recent requests from our viewers to give you an opportunity to think of your questions and type them in the chat. So looking back to some requests. So we have daily videos here on the channel in our Word of the Day playlist that covers pronunciation. And then we also have some other playlists for medical terminology, for names, some of the things that might be more difficult to find answers to about how to pronounce. A lot of times it's what's coming up in the news, things that people have requested, and also words that just can be challenging to pronounce based on their spelling, based on the sounds that are in them. Some of our other videos are beyond just pronunciation. They're looking at connected speech, how we link, how we say things in phrases, and we have several playlists for that as well as on our website on speechmodification.com. We have online courses for different topics regarding pronunciation and English. So check those out on the channel or on the website, speechmodification.com, to get more detailed help. And if you have questions about where to find information, you can always leave a comment. I'll go through that and direct you to where you can find it on the channel or on our website. Okay, so we have a question, recent question about the word nervous. So let's check out that word. So in the word nervous, we have first syllable stress, nervous. And so the ner syllable has our stressed sound. I often write that with this writing just to make the sound. You may see it in some dictionaries as a stressed like that and an unstressed like that. I think that can be confusing for listeners. So just knowing that even though there's two symbols there, it's really just one sound, when R is a vowel sound. And then nervous, the second syllable is going to have a reduced vowel. We'll either say that as an I sound or an sound. So it's just like the word nerve, which is spelled with an E at the end, but I'll just write it here without that E. And then a short little us or is, nervous. He was very nervous during his presentation. Okay, and then I see we have a question about the word month and months. Yeah, so this is a good question. I do have a video talking about these words. So when we have month, we do say the n and the th sounds. Letter O says stressed schwa, and we can't leave any sounds out in month or we won't recognize the word. But when we add the s sound to make months, you can say it with n, th, and s, months, in which case the th gets a little bit stopped, months. Or another way, so it is okay and correct to say months with n, th, and s, but a lot of native speakers will simply say months with just the s sound, and it's an okay cheat to use. So several months ago, or several months ago, this is the most correct way. This is easier, and most people can't really hear the difference. If I say months and months, auditorily, it's basically the same. You can see it visually. If I say months, you can see my tongue coming out, and months, you can see it's not. But it's not necessary to use the th in that word. If it's difficult or if it interrupts the flow of your speech, it's okay to drop it. That's a typical thing that native speakers do. Great question. Thanks so much. Okay, and we have a question about the phrase, don't disturb me, please. So let's look at that. Don't disturb me, please. So in this phrase, the stress comes on the word disturb, and the stress of disturb comes on the second syllable. So you're going to hear that don't disturb me, please. The turb of disturb is going to be the longest part of the phrase, and then the rest will be a little bit shorter. Often for the word don't, we don't say the t sound, and this especially when it's followed by another consonant sound. So rather than don't disturb, you can hear how that breaks the flow. I'm going to use an unreleased T here. Don't disturb, don't disturb. So you'll hear it kind of like the N will be very short. You won't hear the T, don't. I'll just release that T on the D of disturb. So, and then disturb has a really short I sound because it's stressed on the sturb part, don't disturb. So again, we can write this with ER, UR, or IR. They're all representing that sound that we had in our last word. Don't disturb me. Again, the B, because it's a stop consonant, I will probably use an unreleased stop here. I won't say disturb me, disturb me. You can hear that I end up with an extra little schwa sound there. Instead, I just don't release that B. I close my mouth for the B, disturb me, and then I release it into the M of me. Don't disturb me, please. Don't disturb me, please. And then please is just the E, tense E sound. Letters SC say the Z sound at the end of that. Don't disturb me, please. I hope that answered your question and helped you with whatever parts of that phrase were giving you difficulty. Thank you for that request. Okay, we have a question about width and widths. So similar to mouth, month and months. This is challenging for a lot of people with width. So I do have a video showing the difference between with or with and width. What happens with width is I'm not really saying a d. I'm not saying width. I'm just stopping the air for the D and then letting the TH out. Width. So if I'm saying with, my I vowel goes right into my th sound. If. If I'm saying width, my tongue stops the air for the D, so you can hear that the I sound is fairly short, and then it releases into the th sound. So we have with and width. And then when we get to widths, here I think I do have all three sounds, but the D is, since it's unreleased, it sounds a little bit like it is just the w, I, and the th, and the s. But I need that stopped sound. Widths. I think widths. Yeah, you can't drop off that TH there, or it'll sound like more like the word wits. So we don't want that. We want widths. It's definitely difficult. So you could check out my video for width and widths for a little bit more detail there, but that's the gist of what you need to do to be able to pronounce that word correctly. Yeah, definitely a challenging one. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay, and let's see, some more recent requests. We had a request for the word sauce. So the word sauce has kind of a strange spelling. The letters AU say the ah vowel that we have in words like law or caught. In caught, it's also AU. The symbol for the ah sound is this little backward C. And then letters CE typically say the s sound, and they do as well in this word sauce. So I might write it as sauce. I'm using two S's here because if I write saws, that's like the plural of one saw to cut with, and that S is a Z sound. So for sauce, I'll just use two S's to help clarify that. So it's in the sauce, spaghetti sauce. We like the sauce. Okay, there's help for that word. And Another recent request, we had a request for the word forgotten. So for forgotten, not forgetting, forgotten. We have the stress on the second syllable. So in both forget and forgot and forgotten, all of those words are stressed on the got syllable. And so letters F-O-R actually don't say for in these words, they say fur. So I would write it like forgotten, gotten. So we do say the T here, but we don't release it. Another unreleased T because it's followed by the syllabic N sound. We don't really use a vowel at the end of this word. In the dictionary, you're going to see it like forgot. We have the A vowel, forgotten. They might put the schwa in there or they might not. The way we actually say it, though, is without much vowel there. The syllabic N, like the syllabic L, is its own sound. N, forgotten, forgotten. So I go to the T, got. I don't release it. I don't do got, but rather gotten. This is similar to words like mountain and button, and I cover those words in a video talking about syllabic N. You can check that out here in the channel. You can also learn more about that sound in our Sounds of English course. It goes through all of the sounds of English, different how they're pronounced differently in different positions in words, and what accent error patterns to watch out for on those. Okay, so forgotten. We have a question about the word decal. So in the US, we say this with first syllable stress, decal, and then the second syllable, the letter A says the A sound. I do have a video about this. I think there's 3 different ways that you'll hear it. So decal is how I say it. Black cat vowel there. Decal. I recently had someone point out to me that my writing of the A vowel, I was making too much space between the two of them. They are supposed to be squished together, so forgive me if my handwriting is not always perfect there. In decal, first syllable stress, and then second syllable does have the clear A vowel. She has a decal on her window. There is a uncommon in the US, but somewhat common in Canada pronunciation of that, which is decal. That has the eh and the reduced vowel, so that would be like decal. And I can't remember what the third correct pronunciation is. So I'm going to go with this one. That's the one that I use. I can, after class, put a little link for my video for decal to give you a little bit more detail on that. Great question. Okay, we'll take a couple more questions and then we'll wrap up for today. It's nice to see you here. Thanks so much for attending class, supporting the channel, being part of speech modification. Okay, so another recent request, we had the word village. So in village, we have first syllable stress, we have the I vowel, and our second syllable is very reduced. We'll have a little schwa there, village. And the letters GE say the J sound, like in jump or job, which we typically spell with G or GE or DGE at the ends of words. So village. I would say you can either use an I or a schwa, I or a. It's just as long as it's a reduced vowel at the end of this word. So I would write that like village. Village. It takes a village. Okay, great. Let's do one more. And if you're watching live and you have a question, feel free to put that in the chat. Or if you're watching later as a replay, you can leave your question in a comment and I'll get back to you with an answer. Okay, and then our last one for today, we're going to do the word sleepy. So sleepy is first syllable stress. Both vowels say the E sound, and that's typical for words ending with the letter Y. They have the E sound. So we'll see it like sleepy. So basically you just take the word sleep and you add an E, sleepy. She needs to go to sleep because she's very sleepy. Because the P is followed, it's in the middle of the word, it's going to be unaspirated. So if I'm saying a word like a name like Peter or a word like paper, my P sound will have a burst of air. In sleepy, you can hear that it's not sleepy. I don't have that burst of air. It's an unaspirated P. So that's something to watch out for. You probably do that naturally. For most speakers, that's not a challenging thing, but it's something to be aware of in the word sleepy. Okay, thanks so much for being a part of class today. It's nice to see you here, and thank you for your good questions, both in class and also in comments on our videos. I do have a long list of words that I'm covering for our Word of the Day series, so if you're waiting for a response, you will see your video eventually, and in the meantime, you can attend our live classes on Saturdays if you can't wait for your question to be answered. You can also join as a channel member and get a faster turnaround for your requests. I'll be back again tomorrow with another Word of the Day, and next Saturday we'll have another live question and answer class. I hope to see you there. I'm Christine Dunbar from speechmodification.com. Remember, if you want to sound like a native speaker, you can do it. speechmodification.com. Bye, everyone. Hope to see you again soon.